All right, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready. What are we getting into today?
Well, today we're taking a look at a review for a movie called The Beautiful Game.
It's a beautiful game.
Oh, and the review comes from MovieKaTicket.com. Have you heard of this one?
I have, yeah. It's about a group of homeless footballers, right? In England.
Yeah, that's the one. They end up going to Rome to play in the Homeless World Cup.
Sound like a classic underdog sports story, right?
You would think so, but this review actually hints at something a bit deeper. It kind of focuses more on like the human element of the story, the personal journeys of these players.
Oh, interesting. So less about the thrill of victory and more about like second chances, redemption, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It seems like the film really explores how football becomes this vehicle for change in their lives. And get this, the review even mentions that it tackles some pretty heavy social commentary about homelessness, which is pretty cool.
Wow, so it's like a sports drama with a social conscience? That's an interesting mix.
Right. I'm curious to see how they pull that off.
Me too. So what else does the review highlight?
Well, they talk a lot about one character in particular, Vinny. He's the team striker, and he's got a bit of a troubled past.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that he was like a promising youth player, right? Like in the West Ham system.
Yeah. And now he's homeless and a father, struggling to come to terms with how things turned out. They even praise Michael Ward's performance, saying it's incredibly authentic. Like he really captures that turmoil and yearning for redemption.
I can only imagine the emotional depth that he brings to the role. It makes you think about how life can take these unexpected turns. 1 minute you're on top of the world and the next you're facing some serious challenges.
Absolutely. And what I found really interesting is that the review points out how the film doesn't just focus on Vinny's story, but also on the stories of his teammates.
Oh, so it's like an ensemble piece weaving together these different threads.
Exactly. There's Nathan, who's battling addiction, and then there's Jason, who's kind of looking for love, but not always in the right places. And then there's Alvar, who's really outspoken against political injustices.
Wow, so each character brings their own unique baggage and their own hopes for a better future.
Yeah, it really paints this picture of like a microcosm of society, all these different struggles and paths towards hope, all coming together on this one football team.
It's amazing how sports can have that unifying power, bringing people from such diverse backgrounds together.
Right. And then you've got Bill Nighy. He plays their coach, Mal. And the review mentions how he's not your typical, win-at-all-costs coach.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, they say he's actually really invested in his players' personal growth, even more so than winning games, which is kind of refreshing, isn't it? I always enjoy seeing him play those kind of roles.
Yeah.
Wise and empathetic, like in that movie About Time.
Oh, absolutely. Nighy excels at portraying those kinds of characters. But yeah, to have that kind of focus on personal development in a sports movie, that's pretty unique. It makes you wonder if his character challenges the stereotypical image of the tough as nails coach.
Right. I'm really curious to see how he plays this character. And speaking of visually captivating, the review raves about the film's cinematography. Apparently, they do a great job of capturing the beauty of Rome.
Oh, yeah. With those ancient landmarks and the bustling city life, they must be stunning to see on screen.
Yeah, and they managed to do it in a way that doesn't overshadow the emotional core of the story. It's almost like the city becomes a character itself, witnessing these players' transformations.
I love that idea. And what about the football scenes themselves? Are they exciting and well choreographed?
Oh, yeah. The review specifically mentions how those sequences are really dynamic and engaging. They really showcase that unifying power of the sport that we were talking about earlier. But what really stood out to me was that they actually used real-life former homeless World Cup participants as extras in the film.
Wow. That's incredibly powerful.
It is. Really brings a sense of authenticity to the whole thing, blurring the lines between fiction and reality. And speaking of reality, the review talks about how The Beautiful Game manages to address this sensitive issue of homelessness without being exploitative or overly sentimental.
Yeah, that's a difficult balance to strike. So how do they pull it off?
Well, they say that the film really focuses on the resilience and the potential of these individuals. It's more about highlighting their strength and their humanity than dwelling on their struggles.
It makes me wonder if a film like this can actually have a real-world impact, inspire people to take action, to change their perceptions of homelessness.
Right. We've seen documentaries do a great job of raising awareness, but can a fictional story like this, can it really make a difference?
It's a thought-provoking question for sure. Can entertainment and social commentary coexist in a way that moves people to action?
Definitely something to think about. But I think at its core, The Beautiful Game is more than just a sports movie or a social commentary. It's really a story about human connection and resilience, about finding hope in unexpected places.
Absolutely. It reminds us that even when life throws us curveballs, there's always a possibility for a comeback for a beautiful game, both on and off the field.
Well said. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive today.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
We hope you enjoyed listening and that we sparked your curiosity to check out The Beautiful Game. Until next time, keep exploring.
See you next time.